to start. I'll start. I'm waiting still. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Recording has started. Lovely. Let me start with apologies. Mark is in Saudi Arabia, is not joining us today, and I haven't got any message from him. So we'll immediately go into my update for you, ladies and gentlemen. And the update is, as you probably gather from the messages we were sending, we have signed a petition to UN with other 32 maritime organizations asking for help and assistance for the seafarers trapped in Ukraine. There is more than 300 seafarers in Ukraine who cannot leave because the ships are there. And we are working on it, making sure that this actually happens. So it's not just a signature and a letter. The other things we are working on is the Enclosed Spaces project, which is gathering pace. I'm delighted to tell you that InterManager delivered the first draft to all partners. Partners have submitted 13 comments. Those comments are being now digested, and we've got another meeting coming up shortly. And we will be putting info paper into IMO very shortly as well. I hope you received a message from me probably 10 days ago when I was very kindly asking everybody to help InterTanko in the seafarers survey. It's important that we energize our seafarers so they can actually speak for themselves and participate in the survey. I have been asked to participate in Georgia, and I can see Nautica lady there waving at you, but I will not be coming physically. I've just pre-recorded my message where we are talking to the students, future leaders of our industry, and it will be sent to the organizers to use. And otherwise, yes, I owe you response regarding partners and child policy on board of the ships. I'm still waiting.
Yes, I'm waiting from our companies, which are working with, because 2 of them replied, and they say that they have a restriction due to COVID-19. So I'm waiting for maybe different answers also.
Perfect. Okay. But I'm giving myself till Friday this week, and then because I received 97% responses, so I'm very happy with responses.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm still waiting for 2 big players of our association to respond, and the cutoff is this Friday. Basically, I can report to you that majority, 60-40%, so 60% of our members allow partner and child to be sailing on board, and 40% are deciding not to. They haven't come back to the same policy they used to have before COVID. So that's all from me. And look how efficient I am. 3 minutes and you are fully briefed. Now, Eric, over to you, as you've got some very interesting news to share with us. So Eric Dawicki, over to you.
Well, good morning from Beaufort, North Carolina in the United States, home of the Beaufort Wind Scale, which is a pretty exciting place to be. I'm here to present to you about Northeast Maritime Institute in the United States and the things that we do for mariners and seafarers historically. And we're going to give you a little presentation on digital education that has become paramount in maritime education and training in the United States that's approved by the United States Coast Guard. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, Kuba, if that's okay, to bring up my presentation.
And I'll let you know as soon as we can see it.
Okay.
Something is happening. It's a gray at the moment. Here he comes. Yes, I can see, not myself because I'm not wearing glasses, but somebody sitting behind the wheel on the ship. So go ahead, Eric.
Okay, and I'm just going to that started from the beginning. And you can still see it.
Slide 1 of 15, yeah.
Okay. So basically, Northeast Maritime Institute is presenting here. I am the president of Northeast Maritime Institute, and really enjoy my job mostly as I get to work with seafarers You know, in my heart of hearts, I am still a seafarer. I do get to sail quite a bit, and really enjoy the fact that I get to meet with active professional mariners and really listen to what their needs are, both academically, professionally, and socially. So essentially what we've done here, I'll tell you a little bit about Northeast Maritime Institute, the College of Maritime Science. It was established in 1981 by a retired Coast Guard captain. In 1995, it was purchased by my organization, and it transitioned from being an examination preparation school for Coast Guard exams into a full-fledged maritime education and training center. It's actually jumping around on me a little bit. In 2014, Northeast Maritime Institute became the first private maritime institute for higher education, a college or university in the United States. It is well known for its quality, skill sets, and work ethics of its graduates. And 100% of our graduates receive employment once they graduate. 2014, NMI also began developing NEMO, Northeast Maritime Online, a comprehensive online maritime learning management system to deliver STCW compliant MET anytime, anywhere at the highest level of quality possible. Since 1995, NMI has trained over 70,000 mariners from the US and overseas. And essentially what we're here today is to talk about Northeast Maritime Online. It's a comprehensive online maritime education and training platform that the only way that I agreed to develop this, and I was asked by both the International Maritime Organization and the US Coast Guard, is I had some rules that we had to agree to work on. And basically, it must be better than a traditional classroom delivery. It must have a higher level of efficacy, auditable and verifiable, must provide robust learning system for all styles of learning, must be able to deliver all major languages, so English with a national language of origin to make sure people truly understand the curriculum, must have simulation built into the system for competency-based training and assessments required by STCW and beyond, must be accessible anytime, anywhere, and we had to establish a partnership with a major satellite bandwidth provider. With that, where are we today with NEMO? It's very arguably the most comprehensive platform for maritime online training courses that exist today. It provides tools for all styles of learners, audio, visual, simulation, languages. It actually has feedback and inputs back to the student as to how well they're doing, where they need to study better. It provides access to unlimited, and I'm sorry that this keeps jumping around.
But Eric,
sir?
we are not seeing your slides. We are only on the slide number 1 all the time.
Okay, my apologies. Let me try and fix that. Can you see that now, Kuba?
Still slide number 1.
Okay.
I tell you what, it looks like I can navigate. Let me just go for it. Yes, I can navigate.
That's what's going on. Okay.
So maybe
if you
go
to slide 4, please.
Slide 4. Here I am, slide 4.
Okay.
I'll try to synchronize to presenter. Hold on. No, it didn't work. So I will be your navigator then. Tell me. Okay,
well,
shutting up now.
You have a great reputation for navigation, so thank you so much. If you could go to slide 4, Kuba.
We are slide 4.
Okay. It's showing as slide 1 for me on my end. So what I'm going to do is
we all can do it by ourselves, I think.
By the
I have tried now, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on slide 4. Yes, we can do it at the bottom of the screen.
That's
okay,
right. Sorry,
excellent.
guys. I don't know why is that, but if we can all adjust to slide number 4, please.
So with slide number 4, where are we with NEMO today? It's, we're again providing tools for all styles of learners, and we provide access to unlimited practice of skills on virtual simulators. Our exams are taken online with a system that is a patented system here in the US called the Halo monitoring system, exam monitoring system. It produces digital certificates of training under STCW issued after successful completion of courses. It also sends a hard copy to the mariners that take their exams and courses with us. And it's basically minimal time for on-site assessments. And I think that was really critical, especially during COVID, where people could not travel. It wasn't safe for people to travel. And we really discovered a solid balance as to how to make that work. The next slide. Online simulation-based training is Halo started to develop its own simulators, and we created the first STCW approved course in GMDSS anywhere in the world. The Coast Guard had us develop this platform, and essentially what happened from there is we created a simulator and a fully comprehensive 70-hour GMDSS course that could be taken anytime, anywhere in the world, as long as there was bandwidth and accessible. With the development of our Halo simulators, we realized that we needed to catch up with the industry's needs, and we've established partnerships with Kongsberg, with ARI, and Buffalo Computer Graphics. Buffalo Computer Graphics provides most of the simulators for the US Navy. Kongsberg, as you know, does an amazing job out of Norway. And ARI out of India does a fantastic job of really understanding how to educate, and they've been a great partner with that. And the next slide, on slide 6, if you guys go to it, is a little video on a sextant simulator. And basically that sextant simulator, if you hit the play button on the bottom, this is the Halo Sextant Simulator that basically teaches people how to use a sextant for their celestial navigation courses or navigation by the stars. And this is the first sextant simulator created, and we have been trying it out for about 2 years now. And essentially what it does is it enables the students to be able to pick up a real sextant and use it immediately. And I was told I was a little bit crazy in creating this by the Coast Guard and the Navy, and now they're using it. And it's just a fantastic tool for the practical applications, because we were a little weak here in the United States on teaching people how to use sextants and how to shoot a sun line and how to shoot the stars. And this platform absolutely teaches anybody with zero knowledge how to use a sextant. And essentially what we're demonstrating here is that we can simulate any piece of equipment that exists that a mariner will use, from engineering equipment to navigation equipment to navigation systems to using even equipment on deck, such as winches, etc., to teach people how to properly use this equipment. We have that capacity, and it's just, to me, it's just amazing how we can learn from that system. I'm a little bit of an older guy, and I'm just amazed at the younger generation, how they can build these systems and develop them. So I'm on slide number 7. One of the issues for NEMO and digital education is that some STCW courses will always require in-person assessments, such as basic firefighting, first aid, lifeboatman, personal survival techniques, ship handling skills, bridge resource management. You will have to go to a school to get those assessments done. Very minimal, about 8 courses under the whole of STCW where you would actually have to attend a school. But you can do all the theory online and just go to the school for a few short days to get assessments done. Well, as NEMO is growing globally, we're developing a series of affiliate schools around the world to conduct these in-person assessments. The list is growing. And we also have digital training record books, which allow mariners to complete their assessments while at sea if they don't have access to schools, which is fully compliant with STCW and actually part of the original intent of STCW. The only thing you could not do would be the basic training courses. You would have to go to a school for that. And I'm going to switch to slide 8. So as Nemo has grown, we started to develop updates. And in fact, next week, we are going to be issuing our next layout of Nemo, which includes My Nemo, a personal dashboard for all mariners to manage their online courses, interactive career checklists to make sure they're taking all the courses that they need in order to upgrade their licenses or switch from ratings to licensed personnel. And it actually has a repository or a document library for all of their licenses and certificates, medical care. They can store that and actually be sent reminders when their certificates are about to expire. And I'm very excited about that. And that's all free to our mariners using Nemo. We will have digital training record books and assessor training courses for all shipboard assessors. Those are free courses for the mariners who will be conducting assessments. And we, again, as I said earlier, we're establishing a global network of accredited training facilities onshore through associate school agreements. I think we have 7 now. We will probably have about 50 by the end of the year. And Kuba, I'm going to slide number 9. To really make sure that there is a strong and high level of efficacy in making sure that the curriculum is being realized and taken seriously by mariners, we had to create an exam monitoring system and a very robust exam system, which we actually use the U.S. Coast Guard's exam system for the theoretical part. And so what we've done is we've created a software that is patented called the Halo Examination Monitoring System, which is a remote proctoring platform designed by individuals actually from the intelligence background that combines layered human and artificial intelligence to ensure flexibility and integrity across exam attempts. So basically what it means is we are paying attention to all of the behaviors of the person taking the exam to prevent cheating. It has about a 98.6% efficacy rating. We catch the cheaters. And basically what it does is provide support for the online assessments. Each exam attempt is monitored by AI and then reviewed by a human auditor. The exam monitoring actions taken during the exam, both human and digital, are monitored and recorded accordingly with a comprehensive AI report provided to the auditor, who then verifies if there's any anomalies within the exam or cheating within the exam. Sometimes the AI will say, oh, John Smith may have cheated in this section. We look at the timestamp and the human auditor verifies if that was cheating or just a mistake. Because oftentimes that does happen through the AI. So we felt it was important for an actual person to verify if there was a problem. And it also has identity verification for test takers, which are verified for all exams and exam sessions that are recorded for human review. And we're going to shift over to section 9. Here's a little example. If you're on slide 9. Basically, what we're doing is somebody's taking an exam. We get a report that is sent to the auditor.
Sorry, that must be slide 10, I think now. We can see the lady
10.
sitting in front of the computer, yeah?
Terribly sorry. Yes, slide 10. Yes.
Peter?
And basically, what we're doing here is we are able to monitor by AI, and the AI submits a report on all questions, all interfaces throughout the exam, whether there's that behavioral anomaly, and then the exam monitor goes ahead and reviews the report to make sure that there is true efficacy. Now, Switching to slide number 11. Slide number 11, basically, this was a question that Kuba asked me in a meeting. He says, how are you helping the Ukrainian seafarers? Well, we are pretty lucky in the fact that we've been supporting Ukrainian seafarers since the beginning, even prior to the war. Essentially, our existing systems have been deployed for use by Ukrainian seafarers to ensure that they can continue their careers and present employment on vessels operating internationally. With remote training under NEMO, examinations under HALO, and assessments, seafarers from the Ukraine can complete their training at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. In Kuba, if you could switch to slide 12, basically what we've realized is the importance of those Ukrainian mariners and seafarers, making up approximately about 11% of the global maritime workforce holding COCs. What we have done is Northeast Maritime Institute also manages and operates the Commonwealth of Dominica International Ship Registry on behalf of the Commonwealth of Dominica, which is a British Commonwealth nation. And essentially what we've been able to do is issue endorsements and actually bring them into a program that will help them maintain a legitimate license as well. So Dominica has recognition of training and licensing through the Ukraine under STCW 110 agreements, which is mutual recognition of approved training and certification, verification of competency and Dominica licenses. And basically to let everybody know, the Commonwealth of Dominica has been on the STCW whitelist since about 2001, 2001, 2002, giving full and complete effect of the STCW code under regulations 17 and 18. We've had 5 audits for compliance by IMO, and we've always been found to be able to issue licenses under the whitelist. Approvals of NEMO training and HALO, governments can approve NEMO and HALO directly. NEMO is used and HALO are used under the examination process for the United States Coast Guard, which it's approved, and it's adaptable for additional and specific national requirements for any government to use the system. The good news is it's approved by the U.S. and by Dominica, and we're working with other international ship registries to approve it as well, specifically in Europe, because I think it's important to have that approval. Kuba, if you could switch to slide 13. Basically, this is a little repetitive, but essentially what we can do is make sure that all Ukrainian seafarers and professional mariners have access to appropriate licenses, training, certification, and even if they cannot upgrade, they can test out using the Dominica MAST program, which is just under STCW, somebody holding a legitimate license that wants to get a license in another jurisdiction, they can take a theoretical exam to prove the competencies exist. And so we have that program under Dominica. You could switch to slide 14, please. And basically, what we've realized is the maritime industry needs a platform that will ensure that mariners have access to relevant changes that in an ever-changing industry. As digitalization increases in the maritime sector, we're going to have to stay ahead of the game. As we know, STCW provides minimum standards. Minimum standards meaning it doesn't keep up with the industry's needs or the industry's paces. So when Kuba and I spoke about this and we talked about how the industry is ever changing, I explained that NEMO is a way to keep the industry educated appropriately by, essentially being able to deliver maritime education and training quickly and responsively as the industry changes, as the rules change, as technology changes.
Smartphone connected.
So basically, Nemo is already better than the traditional classroom delivery. We have had more and more professional mariners, especially the older professional mariners, telling us that they actually are able to pay attention a little bit better to really focus on what they're doing. It provides a robust learning system for all styles of learning and delivery in all major languages. Simulation is built into the system for competency-based training and assessments required under STCW and beyond. And Nemo has established that partnership with a global satellite provider. We are going to be working with Viasat, which has the strongest maritime satellite bandwidth in the world. It'll be global by the end of 2024. It is actually covering about 2/3 of the globe right now. And we're excited because we're going to be able to bring affordable bandwidth to professional mariners on board their ships using this Viasat platform. Does anybody have any questions on the last slide?
Slide 15. I'll start with questions. We always do that because I received some text messages from some people, but I'm also encouraging the floor to actually ask the question. So the very first question, Eric, for you is, you said that the list of schools affiliated is growing. So is there a list on a website where people actually can dive in and check which schools are already affiliated? That is extremely important for our crewing departments when they are dealing with Ukrainians at the moment, especially, and those basic courses for COC. So we would like to know where we can actually send somebody and whether we've got any countries in Europe, because most of the Europeans move the family, well, not most, but whenever they move the family, they would move it to Poland, Romania, UK, some Germany. Do you have any schools which are already affiliated in those countries in Europe? Over to you.
Thank you for the question, Kuba. We do not have affiliations in Poland, Romania, or UK as of yet. It looks like we will be doing something in Cyprus. We have something in actually, we're very, very close with the Batumi Navigation University in Georgia. Very close friends with the owners for many, many years. We also have a school in the Ukraine that is an affiliate school, and we have a school in the Canary Islands. We also have a program in Louisiana. We are establishing a school in California. But what we're looking for is any ideas or any suggestions from anybody that they believe in a school that could be an affiliate school of Northeast Maritime Institute under Nemo. And we didn't realize the volume that was needed. And so we've been a little bit US centric, and now we've realized we've got to work really hard to establish these affiliate schools globally.
Thank you, Eric. We've got Joe. Joe, go ahead.
Hi, Eric. Without wishing to ask you to list every country, just specifically an area of interest for us is Canada, both British Columbia and Atlantic Canada. If you'd give us an idea of what the current affiliations are there.
So essentially, we've spoken with the Canadian, I'm trying to remember if it's the MCA or MSA in Canada. But basically, they have said, number one, they will accept all training that is approved by the US. There is a relationship there. And what we do need to do, and one of the requests by the Canadians was that we find an affiliate school in Canada. So any suggestions, any opportunities that might exist, please forward to myself or Kuba, who you might think would be a great partner. We focus on quality, quality, quality. So that the school has to be an absolute legitimate school. But we are taking all suggestions and moving forward with them, because this is the next phase. and it's where we're focusing right now.
That's great actually to hear. Thank you, Joe, for asking this question. I wasn't aware that Canada is actually that hot for us, because Cyprus definitely is, and that's good to hear that you're working on Cyprus. And it would really be good, Eric, for those places, especially when we continue with the crisis in Ukraine, to start thinking about Poland and Ukraine, and Romania, where we've got families of the seafarers moved into. So the natural position for the seafarers when they are not on board of the ship is either those two countries. So no brainer as far as I'm concerned and our members. So we do have people on this call, and I'm pretty sure your competitors actually, in a way, if you wish, will very closely monitoring what you are doing, and now maybe they will start becoming a collaborators as well, because I believe there is enough pie on this table for everybody, and everybody can work together. And InterManager will be delighted to be a catalyst of this change, where people could talk, because we, in the end of the day, we've got our seafarers. And that's what we need to make sure that they are happy. They don't have to travel or to become unemployed only because they are not able to continue with the certification.
Exactly.
I'm checking for yellow hands anywhere in the list. I haven't got any here. Eric, you promised actually your last slide was supposed to be okay. Stephen Bond is here. Stephen, give me a second. You promised to have your last slide with the name of the organization and your details. Now we need to have that, and people listening to that, I'm afraid Eric have failed on this last slide. So if you have any questions or anything, fire them to me and I will connect you with Eric immediately. There were some slides mentioning the name of the organization, so you can always Google Northeast Carolina and so on and so forth. So NEMO is the word as well. Meantime, Stephen, please go ahead.
Eric, that was very impressive. Well done. In a previous life, I started and ran a company called Videotel for many years, up until about 8 years ago. So I've seen these sort of challenges. The question I've got is, you've got global Met, you've got a lot of colleges in India, you've got a fair number in Asia. Would you be prepared to discuss with anyone, but let's say somebody from that area, about doing mutual cooperation? Because of course they also will have things that they've done online, and they've done things slightly differently. And rather than just sell a particular formula, would you be prepared to cooperate and moderate what you have, if it means you get another college somewhere else and possibly flag state recognition?
Stephen, thanks for the question. What we don't want to do is rule the world. I'm a firm believer in democracy and diplomacy and collaboration. If we are going to be truly incredible for the needs of the seafarers, we need to ensure we engage in collaboration, and collaboration is going to drive diversity of thought, diversity of technique, diversity of opportunity. What my goal is, my number one goal, is to take care of the health and welfare of seafarers as assets, as the human assets, because I think they truly don't get enough recognition, as to how important they are to the industry. As a guy that grew up as a seafarer, but as in a family that owned ships as well, we understood that people were the main catalyst to driving the economic benefits of a shipping company. That seems to have gone away over the years a little bit. And the companies that really do take care of their people are the ones that really thrive and are successful financially long term. So what we want to do is make sure that we are providing cost-effective tools to make sure people have all of the support systems that they need in order to be not just good professional mariners, but excellent professional mariners. And we cannot do it alone, Stephen. We can absolutely not do it alone. I don't want to suggest that. It must be collaborative. And that's why I reached out to Kuba and I said, hey, how does InterManager get involved in this in terms of facilitating, in terms of supporting, and bringing everybody to the table to really make sure we're serving the professional mariner corps that runs our ships every day cost effectively, efficiently, safely, making sure they meet all of their regulatory demands, but also have a sense of purpose as human beings. And I think that's where the shift is going to be for Nemo. Really, I think we're going to be providing lots and lots of tools. We're going to have mental health access courses. There will be free courses au mas on Nemo to mariners and seafarers, even if they're not members of Nemo. We are putting those courses out there for free. We just really believe in making sure we need to keep the industry moving forward. It's an amazing industry. We need to make sure that people are well respected as professional mariners like they used to be. And I think we can pull that off, but it is going to take a collaborative effort. Yes, sir.
Eric. Thank you, Stephen. And Eric and Stephen, for your knowledge, Pradeep has been invited for this call, and Pradeep Chawla is the chair of Global Met. I will send him a message with the link to this recording. And once again, I introduce him to Eric because I strongly believe that this is the case. And also Professor Łączyński was supposed to be on this call, who is the representative of IUMI. As those of you who are not aware of that, there are two governing bodies for the maritime colleges and maritime universities. And indeed, this is going to be public. We are not going to hide it from anybody. Everybody should listen to that. I'm saying should, that's a bit arrogant, but if they are really interested what's happening in the world, where the collaboration possibilities are, this recording is available on the YouTube in 20 minutes after we finish our session. And it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to actually either agree or disagree, push back, and see for yourselves. Eric, I have been working with Eric, and I'm very pleased to say that Eric is open for feedback. Sometimes critical friends are very good, and Eric takes it on board or pushes back again, saying, no, we can't do that because it will be A, B, or C. But this is where the collaboration is. I'm very much aware that we've got OTG. Stephen Gosling is with us today. We may say it's a straightforward competitor who's watching, but I know that OTG has moved way away from that kind of outlook, becoming almost a monopolist, if you wish, because Videotel and Seagull together now, they are the biggest operator. And I'm also delighted to have them with us today. Stephen, you've got your hand up, so please go ahead. You're muted at the moment.
Thanks, Cuba. No, it was actually to very much right off the back of what you've just said, that we are in a different space now, and it is about communication and collaboration. And for me, really just to show my support and I guess solidarity with what Eric presented, because we're all in the same game. We're all and there's room enough for all of us to try and make the education and training journey of seafarers easier, notwithstanding wars and disputes and so forth, for seafarers globally. And if we can do that by working together and by cooperating, then also well and good. And I think Eric will probably sympathize when I say that we in the business of online maritime education and training, we're trying to innovate, we're trying to improve the lot that we present to seafarers, and often I'm sure you'll find, Eric, we're held back by our regulators that can't keep up with the technology and the innovation that we're presenting to them, whether that's AI proctoring, whether it's online sim or online webinar type arrangements where you can achieve what used to be done face to face. So the whole presentation of STCW and how our administrations interpret that and then apply that to education and training providers often isn't quite up to speed with the capabilities that we can offer now in the education and training world. So it's just really a comment to say thanks for the presentation, and we're very much on the same page.
Thank you, Stephen. You know, we are lucky that the U.S. Coast Guard has been so proactive in the National Maritime Center. They I was against this idea. I will have to tell you. I said no. And the way that my mindset shifted is I had an old captain come into school for some classes, and he grabbed me. He said, "I need to talk to you," in a very gruff way, and sat me down. He said, "I've been here all summer. My daughter's getting married at the end of the summer. It's not the tuition, it's the travel, it's the hotels, it's the airfare. I'm not able to really prepare and help my wife with this wedding." And he ended up in tears, and it broke my heart. I literally went to my wife, who is a doctorate in higher education. She really is the brains behind the higher education side at the institute. And I said, "Look, I'm wrong. I need to call, Ashok Mahapatra at IMO and the folks at the National Maritime Center and apologize." And I gave her $3 million, and I said, "Look, go with it. Let's drive this. I'm wrong." And that was back in 2014, and we've really made some great progress. And the other benefit for us, quite frankly, is operating the Commonwealth of Dominica Maritime Administration, which, I'll offer to anybody. If they ever want to go to an IMO meeting, they're welcome to sit on the Dominica delegation, because it's a great eye opener to see how things work and don't work. And so I think it's very, very important that we have that as an asset, and other countries are starting actually to reach out to us to have us look at operating their maritime administrations as well. So I think this is a neat opportunity, but it's going to require, as Kuba said earlier, collaboration. And if you're willing to collaborate, we're all ears. The only thing that we require is the highest level of effort and ethics to really make sure we're doing what's right for the people out there.
Absolutely.
Eric, thank you very much. Stephen, is your hand heritage hand, or you've got a new question? Stephen Bond.
No, Kuba, it's my hand's down here, but still up on your system. I haven't. I could have. It's great. A great debate, and well done. And I'm sorry that Pradip's not here, and Global Met was obviously worth talking to.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure that these guys do talk to each other. Pradip must be very busy, and the time might not be very good for him because where he is. Very good. Not seeing many more hands. I'm opening the floor again. Any other issues? Is there anything I should be doing on your behalf? Homework for me, please. Anybody? Okay, we do have people who are lined up to have another go in 2 weeks' time. Not putting any pressure on Silk and Catherine. I'm waiting. Okay, smiles on your faces. So that's a potential presentation from this two ladies for us in 2 weeks' time. But meantime, I would like to thank everybody. Thank you very much. That's all for us today. And stay tuned. There will be invites for the next 60-minute meeting, and I am encouraging you to drop me a line if you feel that we need to take care of any of your issues, invite people, or if you would like to present because you believe you've got something which members could benefit from. That's all for us today. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good afternoon, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Great job. Thanks, Kuba.
Thanks all.